Hi, this is George Sandman. I'm the founder and CEO of Growth Drive. Growth Drive is the #1 best-selling business advising platform, and this is our podcast, The Business Advisor Hot Seat. Now, in the hot seat, you're going to hear from industry leaders, thought leaders, your colleagues who are going to share tips, techniques, war stories about building a thriving advisory business based on delivering client wins. We're going to get into it. We'll get into it about the Growth Drive methodology, the Clarity software, what we see out in the world, so much more than just the system. And I'm also the author of The Growth Driving Advisor, which is based on over a decade of being an advisor to advisor, working with you and your colleagues, helping them build their practices, helping them through client engagements. And it's really proven strategies for leading businesses from stuck to best in class. Check it out. So strap in. We're going to light this up. Here we go.
It's O-Rant 30.
O-Rant 30.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with my good friend, Mike Garrison, and he started on a rant, and so I just started recording. So Mike, welcome back, man.
Thanks, man.
I think you have the very dubious distinction of being the most often invited back guest on the podcast, because we say it all the time, but you and I talk a lot.
Yes.
So Mike, what today? What we set out to talk about are a couple of things: client acquisition within the context of, I'm starting to hate the word referral. It's the right word, but it's a pigeonholer, right? People
hear like exit planning.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to leave that one alone. It's O-Rant 30, and it's the end of a normal long day for both of us. And so client acquisition, a good client acquisition process, client acquisition in the new normal. I said to someone the other day, email is dead, and they absolutely agreed with me. In fact, they're leaving a different service provider because they're not getting any results and from email marketing. And then you and I have talked about another concept. So maybe we could talk about two things because they're related. I haven't published the article yet, but I have an article mostly written that accountability is an analog concept, right? And this goes to AI and the threat of AI, and AI is going to take over our jobs as advisors, to which I say no, because accountability.
Unless you suck.
There might be some adult language. So Mike, welcome.
Thank you.
Where would you like to begin?
So I guess the observation I would have, and let's start with the email thing. One of the greatest mistakes anyone can make when it comes to sales is to rely upon trying to be the best at a declining activity.
Declining right? ROI. Sure.
Correct. So like the problem when you say email is dead is there are still really good email practitioners out there that are getting results, right? Or at least they show them on LinkedIn. The challenge is, and this is my observation about anything sales and marketing related, is can you directly tie that to ROI? Right? I don't want to hear about how many times the freaking email was opened. I could give a shit less. What I care about is how many appointments did I get with qualified ideal clients from that spend, whether that spend is in treasure or whether that spend is in time.
Both, yeah.
Right? Because that's the deal. Like when you look at client acquisition within the context of our community, which you own, and I graciously run amok within, right? Yeah, because I suffer from a lack of passion and social restraint. But anyways, like, here's my thing. It's like, I don't care what you do, as long as A, it doesn't hurt other people, and B, it doesn't degrade the value of other people within Growth Drive and the larger community of people in the exit planning space. It's a big space, lots of different people. But this space really cares about reputation and really cares about results, right? And I'm so freaking tired of people that talk about being really good at something that's in decline, right? Which, by the way, that's fine. Like, but you need to be better. And so what really works? Well, if you're a professional advisor, whether you're a financial advisor, whether you're a growth driving consultant, whether you're a exit planner, whether you're an attorney, whether you're M&A, whether you're a CPA, any of that stuff, right? The one thing that everyone knows works is referrals. And it's the one thing that everyone does badly. And what I mean badly is they don't treat it like marketing. So they're not looking at it as a client acquisition system. They're looking at it as this incredibly awesome bonus, right? You think about it.
That's a fantastic point.
Yeah, and it's the angst of what I do. I'm the only person that's willing to really talk about referrals within a marketing context, which is ideal client profile, like all the stuff, right? We're not just talking about the turkey, we're talking about all the side dishes, the warming plates, and we're getting out grandma's silver, right?
And can I circle back to something you just said that a lot of people that I want to make sure nobody misses. You want email to produce appointments with qualified prospects,
ideal clients.
Yes.
So and the way I want to put this is like our audience, right? So I am now, like, if you're a business owner listening to this, pay attention. But I'm not picking on you unless, I mean, if it hits, go with it. But most professional advisors for business owners are not looking for 1,000 prospects. They're not looking to have that many meetings. And why the hell are you using macro marketing systems that inherently are unable to do any real qualification process unless there's a human being involved? And then you're going to pay for that, right? Like, why the hell are you doing something that's going to have it? So I'm going to break it down. You ready? Just got out of a meeting. Great people. I love them all. I get so frustrated because people don't understand that we have never had more options to quote unquote market. Like, so the problem is what people are calling marketing now is publicity. It's not marketing because it's not tied to ROIs. It's not directly accountable for results, right? And so, like, fundamentally, at the end of the day, this is how I do it. You ready? So you're a professional advisor. Listen to this. George, you and I have come to violent and pervasive agreement that when a growth driver is operating at the top of their profession, they're C3D certified, that 5 or less clients. Agreed?
Yeah, that's correct.
Like that is
someone who's going to be in our 1 to 5 continuum, someone who's operating every day as a 3 and a 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, here's how I do it. And I took this person through it. I said, all right, so 3 to 4 clients, 5 clients. How many meetings do you have to have? Meaning, how many individual prospect meetings do you have to have? Unique appointments, not likes or clicks. Appointments, right?
Yes.
Right? With a live person. Maybe it's 50, whatever it is, but you go 5. I want 5 ongoing clients. To have 5 ongoing clients, I have to be able to have X amount of appointments with people that want to talk about what I get paid for. Not meetings to go, hey, what the hell was this the appointment about that I got emailed, right? These are real appointments with prospects that want to talk about what you do.
Yes.
Then you back it up even more. How many people do you have to contact in whatever freaking way you choose? And it should be a multitude potentially, but this is where it all falls apart. To get those 50 meetings with unique prospects, human beings.
Yes.
How many touches do you have to have? 100, 200? What is it? And then to generate that number, you go up to the top of the funnel, which is how, like, if I had to pick all of my ideal prospects once, how many would I put up there? And don't say 3,000, right? And so this is what stops people from being successful. They market too wide. They market without specificity, which
No
means
doubt.
they have no clarity of action.
Correct.
Sorry,
Absolutely right.
rant
And
over
and
for a second.
and if you're a business advisor, and this is you and I are on record about this. If you telling me, and if you've ever marketed to me, marketing, you know you've received one of these emails that goes along the lines of, bro, are you suggesting that based on your LinkedIn post or your email to me, by the way, you haven't even checked to see what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But are you suggesting, and in fact, let's flip this around. You're a business advisor. Do you believe in your heart of hearts, or do you exist in a dystopian reality in which sending an email to a business owner is going to get them to say, yes, I want you to come and help me sell my business. Yes, I want you to come and help me grow my business. Do you really believe that that is going to happen? Or do you believe that by cultivating relationships with strategic COIs, and I don't care if you're a wealth advisor working with a growth driver working with a wealth advisor, accountants, investment bankers, et cetera, that's happening in our community right now. Those introductions are qualified, vetted, bona fide, all the odds. And if you believe that sending out thousands of marketing emails is going to get you there, hey, by the way, every once in a while, I mean, even a blind squirrel will find a nut. Every once in a while, a miracle will happen. A unicorn will pop up, but it's not going to happen very often, which is precisely why Growth Drive, while we provide client-facing, a lot of client-facing content, talking points, email, stuff that you can use, we do not run a marketing strategy program. All I'll say is promote your authority, create good relationships, and work them and nurture them. So I'll stop there.
Yeah, I mean, like, for advisors, you have to understand what your marketing capacity is. You have to be able to say, and so, like, what always terrifies me
Yes.
about any wide angle marketing is, what the hell do you do if it works? Right. And here's my problem is, like, it's probably not going to work with 100% ideal clients. So, like, I can't afford to have 50 prospective consulting clients of indeterminate quality and interest enter my sales funnel, because I don't have time to meet with them. I do not have time to qualify them and take them through. Or in addition, I don't want to pay thousands of dollars per month to a really good marketing company to go through that many people when it's not required, unless you're trying to maintain a broad client base with 100 clients. Like, maybe you're a growth driver that has aspirations of having 10 full-time, whether they're subcontractors or employees or maybe you're looking to be a rainmaker at a larger level. Great. That's a different conversation, but you should still
It's a different conversation, but still one you're going to be hard pressed to fulfill with email.
Or to handle the volume. Like, what do you, like, what people never talk about is the devastating effect on profitability of bad appointments. Like, at one point, and when I get really bitter, I do it. At one point, I told a client, because they were talking about competitors, I go, let's run an advertising campaign to get $2,000. This is a financial advisor, $2,000 to $100,000 clients interested, because we can do that, and then refer all of them to your competitor. We're going to ruin their entire calendar by having 100 people that are suboptimal. And we're going to make them say no to 100 people.
So I am not going to opine about that, but although I am going to laugh about it, but Mike, so let's recap the beginning of this conversation. So email marketing is dying, pretty swiftly, but marketing isn't. And this is where we get into in the growth drive methodology, we separate sales and marketing. And a sales process and a sales strategy, the sales strategy that we see working every day is a sales strategy that embraces collaborative relationships, nurtured relationships, purposeful relationships with COIs. Is
Yeah.
that so far? Am I right?
Yeah, because a sales strategy contains marketing.
Yes. And this goes to one of our earliest conversations. I remember vividly that you said, if someone wants to work with me, they need to be willing to market. And that was one of our earliest conversations. So what you meant, in part or maybe in full, was they need to be promoting their authority. And there was something that Forbes came and talked at our conference about last year. Perhaps they'll come and
Well,
be in the room
just
this
to
year.
clarify,
Yeah.
like they need to be willing to promote themselves, marketing through word of mouth. Like I'm not going to work with clients that aren't going to leverage the world's oldest and most successful marketing system, word of mouth. But to really get the benefit from any marketing system, you have to have a complete sales strategy. And your sales strategy isn't how do we close deals? That's your how do we close deals strategy. Right? Sales strategy starts with research. It starts at why the hell does this company exist and what do we really do? Right? I mean, it basically looks like your entire book, right? Because at the end of the day, if we're going to measure success based upon how effective our sales results are, then the process is sales.
Yep.
Right. And this is where everybody they silo out and they say, well, marketing is in charge of figuring out how to get us meetings. Well, I hate to tell you, but if your marketers don't know how to sell, the chances of them doing that at a high degree of profitability for you, right, is low.
Well, and we need to point out, let's pause. If you were selling toothbrushes or automobile insurance, it may well be that email marketing or digital marketing is your breadwinner.
Yeah.
We are not, that's not what we were talking about. We are talking about getting invited in to work with, co-pilot the largest transaction of a typical business owner's career, and the transaction on which the future of their family's wealth and happiness, the two are related, depends. And if you think that
Let's be
if you
clear.
think anything other than an analog interaction is going to get you there,
Let's be clear.
now,
you know,
now, something I want to hit on though, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying.
of course.
I mean, I keep circling around to, and like you publish on Substack. Why? Now, never mind Substack. Why do you publish?
Because I've done it for 5 years and it is evergreen.
Yes.
But the real reason I keep publishing on Substack is because AI.
Go ahead.
I mean, fundamentally, I don't do Substack to get clients.
Exactly. Thank you. That's
Like,
where I was. But that's what I've been trying to.
so my Substack is a long tail
Yes.
marketing strategy that is designed currently, and this design is ongoing. It is there's nothing static about the program, but it's designed to make me more and more AI friendly as an advisor. Right? Everything I do, and I test it, is how credible is Mike Garrison? Is he a good consultant? Does he know about referrals? Does he know about financial services? Like if I was going to design a new professional advisory business, right? Would Mike Garrison be someone who could help me? I don't want a web, so F Google. I want AI to say, hell yeah, Mike Garrison is a world authority. If you can get a meeting with him, do it today. That's what I want AI to tell. I don't want it to come back to the LinkedIn page. So what is AI looking for? AI is looking for the same damn thing a sophisticated business owner, whether they're a pipe fitting contractor digging wells or they're running a tech company in San Jose. Those business owners want to be able to vet you before they meet you.
That's exactly right.
And
Yep,
this is like, don't sleep on the requirement for this in the referral process, right? Because here's what happens if you've got a shitty website and you've got no presence anywhere. This business owner, and let's be really clear, professional advisors, you should be making $60K worst case scenario per year off of the type of clients we're talking about, and ideally $100K more per year. So yes, we're talking 300 to roughly $500,000 of personal revenue just from your work. This doesn't include any extra products or any extra people on your team as you expand, right? You should be going to $1 million anyways, right? So, but like, here's the deal. You don't have time to do a whole bunch of other crap, and neither do your clients. They're not going to spend $100,000 on consulting, even sometimes if they've got a great introduction from someone they trust, because more and more they're going to go, okay, well, who is this George Sandman guy? Da, 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 da. And you and I've done this exercise multiple times, usually before 7 a.m., any day of the week. And we're like, okay, let's get on chat. Let's get on Perplexity. Let's see what it's saying about you and I. And we'll ask questions different ways. Like this client acquisition, number one, you have to do all of it. Right. Number two, you have to understand at the end of the day what numbers have to work for you. You cannot hire an outside marketing campaign if you don't know how many clients that you can adequately serve. You cannot hire and get the best results out of an outside marketing company or even a cold calling company, sales company, unless you know how many appointments you can handle. Like, this is a real question. George, I'm just going to put you on the plate. How many biz dev initial meetings can you effectively sustain on a weekly basis? Now, I'm not, a year from now, the number's lower, but now
10 or so, given all the other things I do, good with prep and follow up.
Yeah. Now that's a high number.
Yep.
I mean, like that.
I've been doing this a long time.
True, but that's not, you're not working 20 hours a week.
No, I'm not. I'm working on 20 hours on weekends.
Yeah, but this is what this is, I think, sometimes where you and I don't disclose. Like, so it's not that we don't disclose it, but like people, it's hard for me based upon my giving system. It's hard for me to do more than 3 or 4 per week. I do 3 or 4. Everything gets really strained. I'm not sure I can sustain that. I can sustain 2. The reason being is I'm spending so much time working because, most of my marketing results come from 5 relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've got north of 300,000 recurring revenue in 2 years based upon 5 relationships. Yours being one of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, just keep taking the money. Just point of fact, I remind George to invoice me for stuff.
You do. Mike, so we're going to, at the Growth Drive Summit on Monday, October 6th in the year 2025, we are going to run. There are 2, I call them the pre-show show. So there are 2 pre-show shows. One is extremely limited seats that's going to be run by you. And that is more or less by invitation, right? Because
see, George, don't call me. George is a gatekeeper on this.
Well, and there's a reason for that. And I will be running a related workshop with Larry and Andy And both of these workshops, so think of this as 3 hours. We're not going to be in full intensity mode, but it's going to be 3 hours on client acquisition.
Yeah. Which,
Right.
and by the way, it sucks that I'm going to miss yours.
And the feeling is mutual.
Like,
But
it's like,
cloning is not yet a thing. Well, yes, and yours is not complimentary, although it is heavily subsidized.
Mhm.
Ours is included 100% in the cost of registration.
yeah.
So let's talk about if you had to finish this sentence, I'm putting you on the spot now. After completing the Monday morning pre-show workshop on client acquisition with Mike Garrison, you will be able to
Look at your calendar and see 10 appointments that you already scheduled during the program.
There you go. 10 appointments.
Right. So like mine's going
And
to
you're
be,
doing this. I mean, this is a process that you're using. This is a proven process.
yeah. I mean, basically, I'm going to take the limited amount of people that we put through this program, and the number space is limited, because this is not I'm going to talk to you and teach you a whole bunch of shit. It's going to be, this is exactly how I built a $300,000 recurring revenue business just from my SEPA designation in 2 years, right? And it's going to be step by step. This is what we do. We're going to do it. And every point in the program, we're going to cover a subject briefly, ask questions around it, get comfortable with it, and then we are going to make calls and or texts and or emails to key COIs, and we're going to start booking appointments. Folks, if you're an individual advisor or you manage a team of advisors, one of the stupidest things you can possibly do is spend most of your time prospecting individual sales. I spend 90% of my time prospecting for referral partners and COIs. And there's magic to it about how you do it. And we're going to get into it. We're going to figure out who your best COIs are. And then you're not going to have to remember to schedule a meeting with them after the program. You're going to, like, at my seminar, I want your laptop open, I want your iPad open, I want your phone on, and we're going to have breaks for you to take action, because here's what I can guarantee you. If I teach you what to say and then I have you start the process, all you got to do is finish it. What I don't want you to do is learn something, then go through the rest of the unfreaking believable Growth Drive Summit where I'm on the steering committee, whatever we call it, like, you are going to get an incredible amount of information. I don't want you to have to remember to take action on what I'm going to do, right? That's not the purpose. When George and I talked about it, mine is a reaping. Mine is a harvesting. We are not going to be talking about how you build new relationships. We're going to talk about how do we take current relationships and do what I do, turn it into recurring revenue.
And what you just described is fantastic and explains why it's very limited seating. And we're not trying to promote scarcity. It's just being fair to Mike and to everyone in the room.
I'm going to be one-on-one coaching every single person there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I am so psyched for the whole summit.
But after Monday, I get to watch and learn from the other people.
That's right.
Okay. After Monday morning. Maybe do a panel discussion or something else.
You've been in the room, watching, and do not try to sit back and think that you're going to get a little catnap in.
No.
Because we really.
Well, not when you're talking.
Well, what people should understand is, and the workshop you're describing is kind of emblematic. We will do something similar with a larger group, and I'm really excited. And it'll be, it'll be good.
It'll be amazing. And the reason being is the people teaching it have freaking done it.
Yeah. Well, and so the summit, what people should understand when we're, Mike and I are joking, if you haven't been in the room, there will be essentially no click of slides. And in the fourth quarter, we record, you're not going to get essentially any of that. What you will have is, imagine being in the room with 75, 100 senior level professionals, right? Senior level professionals from several different professions, all of the professions we really care about, and some private equity is in the room, and we are going to have a panel of three discuss a topic, and then there's an opportunity for the whole room to do some Q&A, and then we will break into two groups, and we are going to workshop two aspects of that panel discussion, so that if you're a wealth advisor and you're really not that interested in lifting the hood and turning the wrenches, let's not workshop lifting the hood and turning the wrenches. Let's have a workshop that's appropriate for your advisory business goals.
You don't need
and if you are a wrench turner,
capacity, right? So, but this is the beauty. I've never been to a conference where we did this, because panel discussions done well always generate massive energy and interest.
Yes. Yep.
Or in my case, anger at them ending.
Right? You were. Why are you mad, bro? Yeah,
but this is why we're doing this, because some of us are like, wait a second, we can't go from this panel discussion to lunch. And so this is what's really cool is you're going to attend a panel discussion with incredible people. You're going to have an idea, and you are not going to be left cast adrift, right?
That's correct.
You are then going to be able to pick which area of application on that you will get the most out of, and then you'll have a structured and facilitated brainstorm mastermind on it right away. Yes. It's going to be, I think it's going to be life-changing for some of the participants.
Yes.
Right? Because they'll never have experienced that. They're like, oh shit, I don't have to go look back through my freaking notebook after having conference fatigue and maybe drying out, right? And then try and figure out.
We do have fun. Heck yes. We do have fun.
Yes, we will. Right? And that's like, this is the cool thing about the summit. If you're thinking about coming and you don't come, you eventually will, and you will rue the day. It's like from Henry V. You will rue the day, right? Agincourt, that you were not
hold their manhoods cheap.
Those happy few, few, right? But here's the thing, like
manhood, by the way, Shakespeare quoting, not
100%.
No misogyny.
Hope you feel good, whatever. Like, so here's the deal. We do this right. We have 100 people in a room. That will be the smallest group that ever will go through this again.
That's
right. And so what is really important, and I know because of my role in the organization, we are going to be committed to continually doing what's necessary to take care of the new person and the returning person and make sure that we're delivering value, because that's 100%. In the code. But let's be real. We can't replicate last year.
No, and last year was pretty magic, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. And like, I mean, I spent hours and hours outside of the workshop talking about referrals and giving people as much value as I could. I will not be able to talk to more people than I did last year. So even though we're going to have more people there, and maybe next year it's 200, maybe we get to 1,000, like my ability to interact one-on-one or even in a small group setting is going to be compromised.
Yeah.
This is a reality. That's why you need to get in now.
Well, and what's interesting,
and I didn't mean to be a bummer about that. I mean, but it's like you and I, how many conferences did we go to and we've been to? I mean, this is the real deal.
Well, and that's why I go at pains to distinguish a summit from a conference. They are not interchangeable words. They
Correct.
are, it's like advisor and consultant. We may lump them together, but they're not the same thing. And at a summit, and in fact, I wrote a blog article about this last week, sneak peek of the agenda. Check it out, and we explain, the delta between a summit and a conference. And conferences are fun, but frankly, conferences are a heck of a lot easier to run. They also do not deliver the same level of value. One other thing, after we go, point of order, after we go and workshop these things individually, we come back in plenary and describe what we learned. We share as much as possible. So you're not going to be, missing out if you're in room A, not in room B. But we'll work hard to make sure you're getting the salient points. Mike, client acquisition, man. Can we talk for, I know we're at about 34 minutes here. Can we talk for a moment? We've hinted at it. It's something I've been doing a lot of thinking about. It's that accountability is analog, right? Meetings are analog. Even this meeting we're having right here is I would qualify as analog, because you and I are looking at each other. We are talking to each other. We are having a human interaction. And when I say accountability is an analog concept, it is in part in reaction to the AI is going to steal our jobs. AI is going to do our jobs, to which I say, pshaw, that is simply not true. We are humans. We are social animals. And when was the last time? And if you don't think that, if you think AI is going to steal your job as an advisor, when was the last time your phone binged and you dismissed it? Dismissed. You are dismissed. But if Mike calls you and says, George, you were going to book 10 meetings, where are you? You are probably not going to say, Mike, you are dismissed. Well, you're going to say, Mike, I'm paying you thousands of dollars for your wisdom, and I am sorry. I am literally apologetic that I haven't done it, because our relationship and the value of our relationship is an analog thing.
Yes.
It is a real thing. It is not digital, ephemeral, ethereal.
It's digital if it's cheap.
Well, and this is where we'll bring it full circle. Email marketing is digital, and now you're trying to leap the chasm from digital to analog. And I think one of the mistakes that many of us make is to not say, okay, for every two demos, we earn a new customer. I'd love to make it all of them. That's just not possible. So for every two, so then how many, what do we need to do? If you're not expanding out from, I need to have X meetings to win one qualified client. By the way, just because someone owns a business and has a pulse and is willing to talk to you does not mean they are qualified. We talk about this all the time.
Oh my God, right? Yes. Violent agreement.
Yeah.
Like, demographics do not make a qualified client. Demographics help you sort to then go analog.
And just because someone isn't qualified doesn't mean that they may not be qualified for a long-term project, because they're not willing to change. They don't have a can-do, will-do attitude. They're not vulnerable. They're not willing to be transparent.
Qualified doesn't mean they're going to buy.
That's a fact.
Right? So are you qualifying people based upon their willingness to meet with you? You're an idiot. And I'm being generous.
I'm going to put you down as undecided.
Or are you qualifying people based upon their probability of gaining massive ROI from what you offer and wanting to implement it now or in the near future?
Yes.
Vastly different processes. And I'm not saying it's impossible digitally to achieve the second result, but it's really freaking hard.
It's hard. And this brings us down to your digital strategy is to make sure that when someone says, yeah, I'll take a meeting with Mike, and they're like, maybe I should learn something about Mike. Yeah. They can understand who you are, what you stand for, what you do, but before the what you do is why. What are the questions?
Why should I meet with you? Why should I buy from you? Why should I refer you? It's like, at the end of the day, digital either accelerates the sales process, meaning the buying process, which is all that freaking counts, or it decelerates it. So like your credibility, your effectiveness in branding, in publicity, like your effectiveness digitally is going to reduce friction or cause friction. And here's the thing is, like, the problem with referrals is you can get a meeting with someone that because of friction in the vetting process, which is usually done independent of you, right? That friction can then result in those people being willing to meet with you, but having no willingness to buy. So they will begrudgingly, because of a relationship, meet with you.
Oh,
Right?
oh, heck yes.
That's what people don't get. Like I want the right referrals to the right people for the right reasons at the right time. And the right time is almost never when they're ready to buy.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
earlier.
You make a very good point. And this goes to the heart of the difference between just saying, referrals and a referral driven sales process, because I, I can pick up the phone and we can get meetings arranged immediately. But people, if someone is taking the meeting out of deference or out of respect for your request, not because they have a need, those are two different things. And don't feel good about George introduced me to this great COI if that COI is only taking the meeting because I asked them to, right? So Mike, maybe let's take a couple of minutes and wrap this up.
So like my recap was, people don't understand the digital strategy is where you add or subtract friction in the buying process.
Correct.
But the client acquisition model is not predicated upon that. It's a factor in the client acquisition success. But client acquisition is about research and then creative gathering of appointments, however you want to do it. Right? If I was going to recap all of this, whatever marketing you choose, measure success based upon appointments with ideal clients that want to talk about what you do. Because if they want to talk about what you do, even if they don't buy right now, if you do a great job, there's a high likelihood they will buy in the future and or refer you. Right?
Yep.
But when you meet with people that aren't interested in what you do, that don't have the capability to execute upon what you're selling, they're highly unlikely to refer you to more quality people and buy. Like this, like shit in, shit out.
I agree.
Eloquent.
Well, then that's and I agree. If someone is not in a meeting because they're seeking change, then you're either looking for a reason to buy or for a reason to not buy. And if someone's not qualified to be in the meeting because they don't have a problem that you can help them solve, and they are not committed to solving that problem, then you are wasting your time and theirs.
Yeah.
And
so one last rant. You ready?
Go ahead.
The whole idea behind effective marketing on an ongoing basis,
Sure,
is to identify people that will.
Yes.
Right? That will connect, that will listen, that will, right? And so when you add in referrals, the biggest problem I see people making is they blow past the people that already have the answers to all three questions. Why should I meet? Why should I buy? Why should I refer? I have never found a client that spends enough time with their top 10 relationships. Never. And I have never had a client that does anything else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And this is the paradox. AI technology has done a quantum leap on ways to waste your time marketing and selling. Right. And it does so because everyone's got a screenshot of how successful they've been with whatever technique it is. At the end of the day, whatever you're doing, you have to identify who will refer you. Not who can, but who will. And then stop. Focus on them. Ask them how you can help them. Ask them how you can grow. Because those conversations, you can 3 or 4x versus the, hey, George, I get paid 3 ways.
we hear this every day, right? The referral vampires. Who do you know? Who do you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, who do you know? Who do you know? It's like I'm never. You have made yourself even if you're charming, but you've made yourself someone who inevitably it becomes less and less fun to interact.
Yeah. Well, referrals are analog. You ready? Here's the secret. There are only so many people that will A, want to help you, B, be willing to help you, C, have the maturity in their life and in their business model to be able to help you, and then the discipline and focus to execute upon it. And just as true for you.
Yes, there you go. Because if you're not giving referrals, then you are not going to be getting referrals.
At least not predictably.
Not predictably, yeah.
Yeah.
And because I'm out we bird dog for each other, and I for the entire community, always on the lookout. Always on the lookout.
Yeah.
All right, man. This was a fun, you know what? Not a rant-free zone. That was a fun conversation. So I know you had to get some things off your chest. My key takeaways here are referral-driven sales process. Marketing can be analog, can be digital. In the digital world, it's making sure that people have reasons to buy from you, and that you can learn more about all of this at the fabulous Growth Drive Summit.
I got one thing. You ready? This is
October
a question. This is the question.
Charleston.
Here it is. My question is for people that are attending the summit and are going to pick between my seminar or yours. You ready? I'm going to ask you, what would it be like if you went into the general portion of the summit knowing that you already had booked all of the COI and networking meetings necessary to implement everything you're going to learn?
You're making this hard for me because now people are going to be like, what do you mean I can't get in that room? Like, it's not fair to the people who are signed up. Yeah, man. Oh, and by the way, there's a ton of value in everything. We work incredibly hard to make sure that there's a ton of value. So,
man.
So
like you're going to have to really choose to not benefit.
would really choose. Hey, you know what we're introducing this year, and I'm going to say this in closing because this is an analog thing. You know, people talk about networking, they talk about it. And this came out of a request and suggestions from the community. You're on the planning committee. We are going to force you to build your network. You are going to work with you. We have a buddy system that is going to be super fun, and it's as meaningful as finding someone you don't know to buddy up with for half days during the conference. And we do these fantastic, we do Monday night dinners. We make a bunch of reservations. Charleston, fabulous restaurant city. We make a bunch of 6-8 person reservations and we say, sign yourself up. And people were raving about that last year. This year, we're going to do that. Last year, we did it for 2 nights. This year, we're going to do that one night. And we have booked the Charleston, the beautiful Charleston Aquarium for a big celebration dinner.
And
okay.
no ouzo.
No ouzo, no upa. No, there will be no. I'll leave that alone. All right. Listen, again, a fun conversation, Mike, as always. And thanks, man. I will talk to you very soon. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And let us know if you have any questions or comments. We're here and happy to help.
This episode is brought to you by the Growth Drive Summit. Our theme this year is building a profitable advisory business. Join us in Charleston, South Carolina, October 6th, 7th, and 8th. Expand your network, learn new skills, and generally have a good time. This is a top-rated event. We're looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you.